Okay, the next thing we're going to do is look at simulations. Basically, this is very fast. We're going to do one exercise or one question out of the exercise, in your textbook, and even the exercise itself says see your teacher and work out which question you're going to do. When we're trying to simulate an experiment, we're looking to generate a random number. Now, we would, depending on the sort of thing that we're generating, the sort of thing we're trying to simulate in terms of an experiment would depend on the sorts of things and the way that we look at that random number. Now, there's a way of generating a random number on a spreadsheet. It uses RAND, brackets, no spaces, and an equals obviously at the beginning. On the calculator, we're going to use the RAN and the hash key. Remember, hash stands for the word number. This will give you a fraction, but you need to then press your SD button if you're using a calculator like this to make sure it becomes a decimal. And it gives you a number between 0 and 1. So it will never give you 0 and it will never give you 1. It's in between those two. Now, if we're looking for, say, generating a head or a tails, a win or a not win, we might be looking for a boy or a girl, for example, then we would simply be looking to round this number. We only want two events, so we're simply saying, does it round to 0 or does it round to 1? So is it less than 0.5 or is it between 0.5 and 1? What we then can do is draw up a frequency table and just do a tally. This is the number of times, and that would be 4, that would be 2, in a total, for example. So pressing the random numbers, so on this calculator it's shift and here's random hash, random number, equals. Every time you press equals, it generates a different fraction. On this calculator it does. Lots of other calculators simply just generate straight to the decimal. You'll need to continue to press the SD button so that you get it into a decimal, because it's very difficult to determine what sort of decimal, if you're doing a rounding, that fraction is. So every time you press equals, you will get a different random number, and depending on what we've chosen or the number, we might have 4, we might be rounding it to 0.25, between 0.25 and 5, and between 0.75 and 1 and 0.5 and 0.75, depending on whether we want 2 things simulated or we want 4 simulated. So what we'll be looking to do, we're going to do this one in class together, is 609 question 4.